Hi, everyone. I'm Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this awesome Facebook group, as well as several others on various destinations. And we were also chosen by Universal Parks and Resorts as the top travel agency in the country for 2018. Welcome to our inaugural episode of Sundays with MMT. This is a live video series that we will be doing every Sunday night in one of our Facebook groups. And we are so excited to be kicking it off in this group. We have so much to share with you tonight about the current state of the Universal Parks. And also, we want to make sure that we reserve some time at the end of this video to take your questions. So if at any point during this video you have a question, go ahead and feel free to drop that into the comments, and we will get to as many of those as we can at the end of our broadcast. Now, we are using a program called StreamYard this evening, and you may be asked to grant permission to StreamYard to display your username and profile picture. If you don't want to do that, you can still submit a question. You can just decline that permission, and it will just show your question to us as an anonymous user. But we would love to take your questions tonight after we've shared a little bit of information with you first. I'm joined tonight with three amazing agents from Marvelous Mouse Travels. So, ladies, please take a minute to introduce yourselves to us. Tell us how long you've been with the agency and what's the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a vacation.
Hi, my name is Molly Davis, and I have been with Marvelous Mouse Travel since 2017. And if you are interested in planning a future vacation to Universal, you can follow this link below, and you will see my blog, and you'll find my email address, and just other various ways to contact me.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Hart. On Facebook, though, you may know me in the group as Chelsea Gianna. I've been an agent 4 years. Today's actually my 4th anniversary with Marvelous Mouse. So the best way to reach me is email below, Chelsea at marvelousmousetravel.com.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Conkle. I've been an agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels since June of 2018. And you can contact me via email is the best way to get a hold of me. And I look forward to sharing with you more this evening.
Yeah. And again, I'm Ginger. I have been with Marvelous Mouse Travel since 2018 as well, May of 2018. And the best place to get in touch with me is actually my link tree, which is gingermmt.com. But let's get right into our content. So, ladies, we have all been to the Universal Parks since the reopening. So we have firsthand experience with what it's like to vacation in the current climate. And obviously there are certain things that are different from maybe Universal vacations that we've taken in the past. And one of those things, honestly, that I love and that I hope never goes away, even once we get back to normal operations, is the enhanced cleaning protocols that they have going on right now at Universal. So would any of you like to share maybe some experiences that you've had with just how you've seen Universal keeping their parks and their hotels clean for guests?
Well, I think one of the things that they're doing that's amazing is before you even get in the park, it's at your hotel, you're getting temperature checked. So you just have to do that once, you get temperature checked, you get your wristband, and you're good to go throughout the day. You don't have to keep doing that. And everybody coming in is checked, and also the sanitizer. It is everywhere at Universal. So even before you get on a ride, everybody has sanitized their hands, which is great. It made me feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's one thing to keep in mind because you do have to put on the hand sanitizer every single time you want to get on a ride. There is no choice but to put on the hand sanitizer. So if you're prone to getting dry skin, definitely make sure to bring some hand lotion to keep your hands from getting super dry. And I think that's another thing too, anything that you're touching. I noticed that there was someone coming right behind, and there's going to be the team members are cleaning nonstop, and they're constantly wiping down railings. They even stop the rides every 15, 20 minutes or so for a full cleaning, which I think is really great too. All of the touch points are really getting a thorough cleaning, which I really like to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the resorts, I noticed that the like remote control for your TV and some other items are like wrapped once they've been cleaned to ensure that nobody else has been using them since they've been sanitized. And as far as cleaning protocols for the rooms, in order to make sure that the guests stay as safe as possible, they basically are asking you to contact them when you need anything for your room, and they're bringing it for you very quickly. Like we needed extra towels and stuff, but they aren't entering your room unnecessarily, which personally I really like.
Yeah, I agree. We were there in late June was the last time that we were at Universal. And I even remarked to my husband, we were staying at Royal Pacific at the time. And it was like, I don't know if maybe part of it was just in my mind, but it felt like it was cleaner. You know, everything looked cleaner. It smelled very clean. A lot of people were asking how Universal was handling the refillable mug stations. And when we were there, they had like little wipes available for you where you could wipe down the Coke Freestyle machine if you wanted to before you used it. You guys mentioned the hand sanitizer already, but I asked actually one of the attendants at one of the rides how many bottles of hand sanitizer they go through roughly in a day. And he told me he went through something like 10 bottles of hand sanitizer in a day. Like it was crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, it made me feel a whole lot more comfortable. And, you know, I'm sure you guys felt the same way. You know, one change that I think people are really nervous about and maybe think might be too much of a hindrance to planning a trip right now are the required face coverings in the parks and at the resort hotels. So would any of you like to share your experience with your comfort level wearing a mask at Universal?
Well, I actually live here in Orlando, so I experience the heat and humidity every day. And I'm an annual pass holder to Universal, so I go all the time. And never once has the face mask been an issue for me because they have great U-Rest locations in Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and right outside the parks, right in City Walk too. So if you need to take a break and take your mask off, you have the opportunity to do so. But in my time inside the parks, I never really needed that break because it was bearable. It wasn't too bad having to wear a mask. And if it gets me inside Universal, I will wear the mask.
Exactly. I feel the same way.
I agree. Go ahead, Chelsea.
I was going to say, I'm not from Florida, so I avoid it in the summer at all costs. I was there in July, and I was there again in the beginning of October. And in July, I thought, okay, 90% of my trip is going to be spent in these red areas. I didn't go once. I went once actually just to check it out, but not because I needed it. The masks, once they're on and you're like so busy doing things, for me, they didn't bother me. I get hot really easy. It bothers me. It didn't bother me there. No more than it would just a hot day. And I have one of my masks. I love all the masks that they have. And it's it's a problem now because every time I see one, I buy a new one. But I actually do like these for the park. They're really comfortable.
I love that design, the old school design on the mask. I think it's so cool that they brought back like the retro look. I like that.
I think I have all of them.
All the masks.
I bought one when I was there as well. My recommendation is to bring a few different kinds of do better with the cloth masks and other people do better with like a disposable medical one. And if you have, alternates, if for some reason your mask got wet, which they did let us take our mask off actually for the Jurassic Park ride because you do get wet. But in case your mask did get wet, to have an alternate is really good. But I do also like the ones that they had. And my husband and I bought ones from Harry Potter with our house on it.
That's awesome.
And you don't have to wear a mask when you're eating or drinking. So if you decide to get a great snack or butter beer, you can actually move off to the side and be stationary. and you can remove your mask while you're eating or drinking. So that gives you a little bit of an opportunity as well to have some time for your face to breathe a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, speaking of frozen butterbeer, we got that's my favorite treat at Universal. So we got a frozen butterbeer, and I remember, we sat down, we were kind of taking a break, and when I put my mask back on, I like breathed into my mask, and it was like air conditioning, like for having that frozen butterbeer. And I was like, this is a neat tip that I'm going to give people to stay cool in the parks.
That would be cool if they did like a scent, like a butterbeer
Yes.
scent or something you could
That would
spray into your mask. Yeah, no.
Butterbeer, essential oil.
Universal, that's my idea. Don't go stealing it out.
That's right. It's $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
Now, Chelsea, you mentioned this kind of in passing earlier, but another protocol that Universal has put in place to keep people safe is the mandatory temperature screenings. And, I personally was kind of nervous about this one. I was nervous about the heat. Am I going to have an elevated temperature just because it's Florida? But also I was worried that it was going to add, a whole lot of time to that park entry process. So what can on-site hotel guests and also off-site hotel guests expect from that temperature check process?
So I stayed in resorts and I never encountered a line. Same thing like using their transportation. I stayed at Royal Pacific both times, so the boat. So you could get your temperature checked there as you were walking to the boat, or when you're checking in for the first time, they do have it in the lobby. Like I said, it's nice that every single person that is entering the property has been checked. It took 2 seconds. I mean, they hold it up to your head, beep, here's your wristband for the day, and you're good to go. You don't have to go through it again. Same thing like security. You do it once, and that's it for the whole day.
Yeah, I had the same great experience. It was like, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds of an interaction where they took your temperature and handed you the wristband. Super quick, not an inconvenience at all, and you have that added peace of mind that everyone was temperature checked, like Chelsea mentioned. So I didn't feel like it was an inconvenience at all, and really appreciated it.
Awesome. Yeah.
And if you live off-site, or if you're staying off-site, or you're parking at City Walk and parking garages, they have multiple team members there as well that will scan your forehead for your temperature when you are walking in the City Walk. So if you're not staying on-site, you will still have your temperature checked, just at a different location. Mm-hmm. And it's one time there as well.
Awesome. For a lot of people, one of the things that they look forward to most from a theme park vacation is interacting with the characters. So how have character meet and greets changed since the reopening?
I've seen more than I've ever seen, honestly. They are everywhere. I got pictures of characters that I've been going there for a long time that I never see, or maybe never wanted to go wait in line to see, or anything like that. They have markers in front of it, like you see there, where so you can still take a selfie. You could have, someone in your party take a picture of you, so it kind of looks like you're closer than you are, the way they have it set up. But I've seen more than I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more special this way because before meet and greets, there would be a long line and you were kind of having to get through so they could get to the next person. But because they're out randomly throughout the day, there's never long lines or crowds. So they will interact a little bit more with you, and they will pay attention to you, and you're still getting that special time just from a distance, which I think it's a great way. It's different, but it's still a great experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, due to the current protocols, the Universal app has become an even more important aspect of planning a Universal vacation than probably it ever has been before. So what do guests need to know about mobile ordering and the virtual queue system?
I love both of those. I love mobile order and I love the virtual queue, mostly for convenience. I think mobile ordering is great because if you are in one spot in Universal Studios and your quick service location for mobile ordering is across the park, you can still do it straight from your phone. and you're able to still get to your mobile order location and pick up your food, within 15 minutes, or you can even set the time for your mobile order pickup, which I think is really cool. So I love the convenience of it.
I
There
also
is-
really enjoyed that, like every place that we mobile ordered from and then would go to sit down and enjoy, like we were at Three Broomsticks, and yes, you put in your order, but then they went and reserved a table for you. So it just made it so convenient. We could keep enjoying the park until our order was ready. They already had a table for us, and we just got to sit with our masks off and enjoy our food. And they also had an attendant that would come around and make sure that like your order was perfect. We asked for cups of water and they delivered those promptly. So it wasn't like you were missing out on a good experience. It still was a really good experience.
And when I went, I actually had the dining plan. So unfortunately, you cannot mobile order if you're using a dining plan credit, but it's still super easy because, like Jenna said, they'll sit you at a table. The only thing is you just can't order in advance. But in regards to the app, you can use it, look at the menu, so that way, as soon as you get there, you know what you want, you order. You don't have to kind of wait around and wait that time. So the app is priceless for everything.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up because I had the dining plan too when we were there and my husband didn't. And part of that, like the reason why we did that was we wanted to see, who spent the more money at the end of the day. We wanted to kind of compare the value of the dining plan. But we actually noticed that even though he was mobile ordering and I was using my dining plan to actually physically order at the register, we were still getting our food at the same time. So I know that's another thing that a lot of people were kind of worried about is, well, what if I do have the dining plan? Am I going to be waiting forever because I can't mobile order? And in my experience, no, that was not the case at all. We both got our food at the same time, roughly. So let's talk a little bit about virtual queue. Are all rides offering virtual queue right now? Is it just some of them? How does that process work?
Well, Universal can change every day the virtual queues. So it can all just depend on what their plan is for that day. Usually I have seen Hagrid's at Islands of Adventure. I have seen it on the virtual queue, but then depending on the day and if it's a holiday or a weekend, it may not be offered or it may be offered. It really just depends what Universal wants to do for that day.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Hagrid's is now part of early entry, which has never been the case before. So that's really exciting too.
And that's why it's such a great convenience to not only be staying on property, because I actually got a virtual queue while I was laying in bed at Royal Pacific for Hagrid. So I didn't even have to get out of my bed to get a virtual line from the app. And then if you have early park admission too, from staying on property, it's great convenience.
Absolutely. Now, there is one attraction that is using kind of a virtual queuing system, but not through the app, and that's Ollivanders. So let's talk a little bit for people who might be interested in the wand ceremony. What's the process they need to go through to make sure that they're a part of that?
The normal, go ahead, Chelsea.
Well, yeah, it's not on the app, I believe, but it's
right.
when you are actually in the park, you go there. I saw it and I wasn't sure what was going on at first. I was like, what are they signing up for? What's happening? What am I missing out? But it was for Ollivanders to sign up, which is nice because they're only taking limited, number because they're not going to pack it in like they used to. So you can kind of go explore and do things and then know you have set time to return and go through the show portion. But you can still go into the wand shop without, an appointment if you just want to do that. But I can't go.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Yeah, we were traveling with a friend, and I just wanted her to see the experience because she hadn't before. And I thought it was really awesome that you already could pre-select with somebody in your group who was going to be basically having, interacting with the shop and having the wand selection ceremony based around them. Whereas in the past, you weren't able to do that. You'd be with a larger group of people and you wouldn't know who would be selected. So I thought that would be really actually a nice benefit for families who has, a huge Harry Potter fan, like, they're going to be the one selected in the ceremony. And it'll just be extra special for them.
Absolutely. Universal is currently operating their parks, obviously at reduced capacity. And I get a lot of questions from current or potential clients regarding kind of how that process works. And the most common questions that I get are, do I need to make a reservation in advance to enter the Universal parks? And do on-site hotel guests get guaranteed entry to the parks? So let's talk through those questions for our viewers. Do you have to make an advanced reservation in order to be able to get into Universal?
Which is nice. You don't have to have like your whole day planned out. You don't have, okay, we're going to this park this day. So,
Mhm.
which is really nice about that. Because Universal, I feel like that kind of park.
Yeah. So Universal it's a first come, first serve. So like Chelsea said, you're not really having to worry about knowing exactly what park you're going to do at what day. You can kind of go as long as, obviously you get there early enough in the day, you can go to whichever park you wake up and decide you want to go to at that particular time. What about on-site hotel guests? Are they guaranteeing entry for on-site hotels, or how is that working right now?
There's not a guarantee for the on-site hotel guests, but they are getting priority. So it still is a really nice benefit as an on-site hotel guest to have that know that you're going to get the priority. But again, that's just another reason why the early park admission is so great, because you don't have to worry about that if you show up for early park admission. So yeah, we love early park admission. We always take advantage of it for that reason. Like, we don't have to worry about, if we're going to get in, or, if there's going to be long lines, it's just a great time.
Mm-hmm. And that's another important thing to talk about, is that obviously as an on-site hotel guest, you do get early park admission, but you also can get early park admission even if you're not staying on site, if you book your tickets through Marvelous Mouse Travels. Because of that special relationship that we have with Universal, that is a perk that we are able to offer to our clients at no additional charge over and above the price that the tickets would be if you bought them off of Universal's website. So that's something that you're not going to get going through the consumer site. But if you go through one of our agents, you're going to get to take advantage of that perk that's usually only reserved, for specific people. So that's really great, especially in these times where there is a capacity limit that, is kind of, and there have been a few times since the parks have reopened where those parks have hit capacity. And so with early park admission, you really don't have to worry about that. You're going to be able to get in and enjoy your time there with your party. So another question that I see a lot has to do with the crowd levels. And, as people get more comfortable traveling, we are going to see, and we have seen, an uptick in attendance at the Universal Park. So in your experience from your particular travels there, how do you think the current crowd levels and wait times compare with a typical year at Universal?
They're amazing. They are so low. And I know sometimes, like, you see a picture and it looks like, oh my God, it's so crowded. A lot of times those pictures are taken, maybe at City Walk or something, where everyone has to funnel through it. Just everyone has to go to that point. But once you're in the park, it's so spread out. I filmed a whole live walkthrough actually in this group because I was amazed at how empty it was, and I wanted to show everyone. I was like, look at this. There's nobody here like that. That's not. I don't even think that's early park admission. That was just like probably regular hours.
Yep, that was just during the day.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you can get awesome pictures. Like, normally Side on Alley is so packed. And it's so nice to be able to walk through the park and really explore, because Universal has a lot of cool, like, things, and be able to check everything out and not think,
Yeah, absolutely.
I was actually at Universal when they reopened on that first day. And I've been going throughout all of this time, and I was just there on Friday. And yes, there are more people starting to get more comfortable in travel, but it's nowhere near what it used to be, last year or the year before that. You can definitely move around. You're not elbowing with people, especially like Chelsea was saying in Diagon Alley, where usually it's so packed and congested. It's not like that anymore, it's been really nice.
Absolutely. I agree. Now, what do you guys think about Express Pass right now? Do you think that Express Pass is still a good value for people with these reduced crowd levels?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. I stayed at one of the premier resorts and was able to get the unlimited express passes included with my stay, and I absolutely saw the value in it. I mean, even though there were certain days of our trip, like during the weekdays, the crowd levels weren't and the wait times weren't as high as on the weekends, but it just allowed us to have even more fun in the parks and less waiting, because even if you are only going to wait for 20 minutes, that's still 20 minutes that you can do another ride or ride the ride again for a second time if you love it. So for me, again, even if the wait times was a little bit less, we still definitely saw the advantage of using the unlimited express passes.
Yeah, I totally agree from my experience as well. It just makes it much more stress-free, not having to worry about what the wait times are, because you've got, that pass. So now we're going to take some time actually to go through and look at some questions that people have been submitting in our chat. So we're going to look through the questions, and they are going to display on the screen. And we will answer as many of them as we can get to tonight before we run out of time. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Kathy. Yes.
I love that.
Germaphobes unite. We're all like, yes. Why is this not always a thing? Is there room service? Do any of you guys know the answer to that? I don't off the top of my head.
I don't think when I stayed, I was at Royal Pacific early September, and there was no room service when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of y'all have experienced room service or no, more recently.
Mm-mm.
I
No.
like to go to the Tuck Market.
Yeah. Now, I know that Club Level is still happening, but Club Level is obviously pre-packaged. So, in the past, Club Level, you would just kind of go in almost buffet style, and that is pre-packaged. But I don't believe that room service. Again, I'll check it and I'll put the answer in the comments. But off the top of my head, I don't believe room service is happening. But we'll make sure that we find out for you for sure. Anything else? Oh, yes. Well, I hope you can make it before the end of the year. I went in June. I'm going back later this month, and I'm going back again in December. So if that tells you anything.
They're getting ready to start their holidays. Is it November 14th or 15th?
I believe so.
It's right around there.
There was
they'll have
already
the park
some stuff up today.
Oh, really?
Exciting. Love that. Yes, I agree. I love that they make you sanitize. Again, why is this not always a thing that we do?
And they're still cleaning in between. So it's not like they're just relying on your
Right.
sanitized hands. Like, that's a plus, but then they're still sanitizing.
Exactly. Linda says they are going for the first time ever next week. That's awesome. Good tip to pack the hand lotion. Yes, I for sure had to do that myself, because it does dry out your skin. It seems like the hand sanitizer that they're using is a pretty good quality, but I mean any alcohol based hand sanitizer is going to dry out your hands.
They give you a lot too.
They do. Like. They're real generous.
I don't complain. I love hand sanitizer. All over your body.
Yes. Hello. Oh, thank you, Eric. Glad you could watch. If you have a dining plan, yes, that's correct. You can't do mobile ordering with the dining plan. You just go up, they will take you, they'll escort you up to a register, and you will order with your dining plan, and then you'll go right back to your seat. So it was an incredibly quick process in my experience with the dining plan. Can we explain the freestyle cups and how much they are per day? And do you buy those with your dining plan? One of you guys want to take this question? I can if nobody does, but if you want to, go for it.
Go for it, Ginger.
Okay. So I believe if you buy the freestyle cups independently, they're around, I want to say they're around $17 with tax. But if you add them to your dining plan, I believe that the difference in the dining plan without the cup and with the cup is around $10. So it is a little bit of a savings versus just buying the cup individually every day. But if you have the cup with the dining plan, you have it for however many days you've purchased that dining plan. If you just buy the cup outright, then you do have to reactivate it. You have to pay a reactivation fee for every day, which I believe is about $9, $8 or $9. And then that gives you essentially free refills. I think it's every 10 minutes. So there is like a 10-minute window where you have to kind of wait to fill up your cup. But you can fill it up with soda products. You can fill it up with vitamin water or even regular water if you want to. You can fill it up with ices. That's one thing that we love to do with our freestyle cups. But you can purchase them as part of a dining plan, but you can also purchase them independently on their own too. Hello? Have any of you done the shutter buttons? I actually have never done that. Have any of you guys ever done that?
I've done it. I loved it.
Did you?
I loved it. Just as a Harry Potter fan, like a sick Harry Potter fan, it was so cool to do that. Even though, you're in front of a green screen, like when you see it all put together, I was like, oh my God. 'Cause it's just cool to see it all play out, because it's kind of a story that they follow essentially, but it's, the moving pictures.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. So it's definitely worth doing. And if you do the Harry Potter package, you get it included.
Yeah.
For time. I think that's the only way you can have an actual reservation for that experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that Harry Potter vacation package is awesome because it comes with the Shutter Buttons package, but it also comes with breakfast at both Harry Potter restaurants. It comes with a themed keepsake box with lanyards and luggage tags and a welcome letter. So if you have a Harry Potter fan in your life, that's the ultimate vacation package for them. Yeah. Yes, we love Universal too. I totally agree. Yes. Pictures of Diagon Alley with like just your family in front of Gringotts, like you're never going to get that picture again at any other point in time. Oh, that's exciting. I think this is a great time to go for a first trip. Don't you guys? Like, I think you're going to get so much more out of the park because you're not going to feel so rushed. You're going to get to kind of take it in a little bit more.
And it's cooling off down here. It's
Yes.
going to be 70 tomorrow, so it's very exciting.
It's like winter for you guys.
I know. I have to get my coat ready. 70.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, we have a freeze warning tomorrow. So.
Oh my gosh. I was actually just wondering when they were going to start serving hot butter beer, because I could definitely go for one of those. I also live in the area of Universal like Molly does. And so I was like, yeah, I could use one of those.
Maybe tomorrow. The low tomorrow night is 59, so you never know.
It's like still shorts weather. You guys are in your winter coats. It's funny. Oh, I'm so glad, Linda. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you found it helpful. Anything else? Oh, that's a great date range right after the new year.
The decorations should still be up. In years past, they were for the holidays. Things have been different, obviously, this year, but they should be.
Yeah. Florida jacket weather and northern jacket. Yes.
It's so true.
Very different.
That's true. All right. Well, I think that we've made it through all of our questions, which is awesome. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for Sundays with MMT. Again, if you'd like to know where we're going to be going live every week, then we will post that information as a comment on Facebook, and we'll also put it in the video description if you're watching us on YouTube. But I would love to have you join me and another group of agents next week in our Disney group, because we're going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern again, talking about what it's like at Disney World right now. So if you would like any information about planning a vacation with any of the agents that you heard from tonight, feel free to reach out for a free, no obligation quote. Again, our vacation planning services are always completely free to you if you book your vacation through us. And it is the same price to book through us as it is to book it on Universal's website. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us again tonight. And we hope to see you again next week for another episode of Sundays with MMT.
Bye.
Thank you.